I look at our stuff. The stuff we own is sort of one of three categories. So here's part of the recipe. There are the true essentials. And I think that's probably going to be similar for most people. It'll vary in size and scope.
Toilet paper.
Yeah, we're all going to need toilet paper. We all need a roof over our heads. We need
Right.
food. We need clothing. But even those things vary, right? And then there's the non-essentials. Those are things that add value to our lives, but you could get by without them. So you could have a really bland life, or you can have these things that augment your experience of life. They enhance or amplify your experience of life, and that's great. Then there's this third category, which should be the smallest, but I think it's the largest, especially in the Western world, and it's junk. It's these things we thought we needed, right? We thought we would like. They're aspirational purchases. It's retail therapy. We sort of hear these words. And so we'll buy the oversized orange sweatshirt with tassels because it looked really great on this mannequin.
Yeah. I got one of those all-in-one rice cooker things that does like 30 different things. It doesn't work. I don't know why I bought it. You know what I'm talking about? The hot pot?
Yeah.
The hot pot.
Again, well, that becomes aspirational, right? You're like, well, because it looks like I think I would get value from it, but we don't stop to ask ourselves, will I actually get value from it? And so we have increasing amounts of debt in the United States. You know, the average American has $16,000 worth of credit card debt, has 4 active credit cards in his or her wallet. 1 in 10 Americans has 10 or more active credit cards. I was one of them. I had 14 credit cards because I'd be stupid not to sign up for the Banana Republic card and get 15% off the shirt that I'll wear 3 times. And then, of course, you're compelled to keep going back there and going further into debt.
The aspirational stuff is tricky, too, because I feel like that is where some mental burden like hits you that says, I have to one-up someone else. I have to, you know, have a better car, and then I have to eventually get a private jet, and then I have to eventually, you know, so you're always trying to feel internally like you don't have enough, like you need to be able to afford something bigger and bolder to make yourself seem worthwhile.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like we all have to have some type of purpose that we're aiming for, some kind of direction that we're aiming for.
Yeah.
And the things that you mentioned, one-upping keeping up with the Joneses, or one-upping our friends or coworkers, that is one way to focus our time and energy and our other resources. It's like I said, I think that is probably the easy way to go. Just if you look at evolution, like being on top, like that's how you survived. I mean, at a certain point, like that was survival. I think that there are also many other ways that we can still find purpose and we can still find a direction to head in.
Yeah.
And the pursuits that you mentioned, those are, it's funny because we are raised being told that money doesn't buy happiness, but we all just want to try it out for ourselves.
Right.
Like just
it might for me, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And the problem is that money solves money problems, and that's it. It doesn't really do much more than that. Yes, it does solve your money problems, but there are still problems or things that you have to face with relationships or with community or whatever it may be. So I think minimalism, for me, it really helped me to refocus my resources, not just my money, but my time. That was the number one reason why I got into it, is I saw an opportunity when I was sitting there in that room with 80% of my stuff still packed in boxes. I just thought to myself, if I didn't buy any of this, like I would be closer to being out of debt. I'd be closer to retiring early. I wouldn't have to work 60, 70, 80 hours a week to maintain this consumeristic lifestyle. So for me, it was about, I mean, honestly, man, I wanted to get to a point where I was debt free and I was able to live off a barista's salary. And for me, that sounded like, and it still does. I mean, one day I hope to get to that lifestyle where I'm just, working 30 hours a week being a barista. But for me, it was, having that 30-hour a week job, but having the other time during the week to pursue things that I really, really loved and that I really, really enjoyed.